Hey guys, what is going on? It is Justin Masson here from Nintendo Dads, and today we're going to do a little bit of a Let's Play of Shaq Fu. And that is, of course, Shaq Fu, the Legend Reborn. Big thanks to the team that provided us a review copy of that, so thank you guys so much for that. Now, Shaq Fu is available right now on the Nintendo Switch eShop, by the way, so you can definitely check it out. So we are loading right now. I would say this is one of those things that I did discover from the game, is that the load time is a little bit longer than I was maybe hoping for sometimes. It's only really when it kicks off, but nonetheless, it's quite good. So now this is from Saber Interactive and Wired Productions, which is fantastic. It's available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC as well. And on the Nintendo Switch eShop, it is $19.99 USD. You can convert that to pounds and sterling and wherever else you are as well. Now, there's a physical box production of this that came out as well, but we did not get that. We got this digital version, which we are very thankful for as well, so we greatly appreciate it. But as you do notice here, like this is a little bit of a long load screen. I have been talking here now for almost a minute and a half, and it's still loading. So I think when we talk about maybe quick games to jump in and jump out of, that's a bit of a challenge. And I will say that even having played it a little bit longer than just this Let's Play, which is just the first 20 minutes of it here, this is something I discovered as well, is that very often, even when I'm loading the game, unless it's from the sleep mode, it takes a while to load. So that can be a bit disengaging, I guess, from a content perspective or from a playing perspective. But I didn't play the original Shaq Fu, by the way. I think it was on Sega, I think, or maybe Super Nintendo. I did not play the original Shaq Fu. I think Shaq Fu is a game that kind of sits out in the consciousness of like understanding the campiness of it, and at the time the popularity of Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan at that time, but then to have your own game based on a kung fu game, I think is kind of funny. Now, I will say this game understands its campiness, understands its over-the-topness of what it is. And here we go, jumping in. Mad Dog, of course, is one of the production companies as well. Big D's Productions. This is actually really funny. The second page here talks about Shaq a little bit here. It's kind of like one of those like, hey, everything here is false, well, except for Shaq, because Shaq is real, because he's awesome. It's really funny writing here. They have a Shaqopedia. I love that. We're going to jump right into a new game. You could choose our difficulty here. I find it, it's campy fun is exactly what it is. I'm not a huge beat-em-up player fan of games like this, but when this came across the Nintendo Dads HQ desk, I thought, yeah, I'm going to give this a shot. It looks like fun. Gary Gray, our good friend Gary Gray actually tried this when he was over in EGX and really loved it as well. This is cool. I'm going to let this go.
I started out like any other Chinese orphan. The only clue to my identity was a mysterious birthmark. My mother named me Shaquille and raised me as her own.
I kind of love this cartoon setup here, by the way. I think this is really quite fantastic.
I grew like wild bamboo on the sunny side of Mount Shin.
Which again begins to kind of set the reality of the world that we're living in, right? Where this baby shows up, being made fun of for his size, right? Just very over-the-top, campy, cartoon fun, which I think is really where the game kind of strides, and of course, kind of our sensei, if you would, here, or our mentor, entering the picture as well.
Your feet must be the size of...
I get the point.
There is great power within you, Shakir. You must use great restraint.
He trained me in the ancient fighting technique of wushu.
So of course, being as large as he is, Shaquille O'Neal or Shaq Fu, or known as sometimes as Big Diesel himself, needs to learn how to be trained. So is being trained into being the kung fu master that he is. the legend, of course, needs to be reborn. So again, I think it's I mean, there's a over-the-topness about this, right? Shaquille O'Neal being a kung fu artist, master, trucking along his sensei as the world burns around him, and the only one that can fix the problem is Shaq. So I find it funny.
What is going on here?
I'll explain, but we must hurry.
Working through some just basic mechanics here. Even the writing, X to jump, this to go forward. I do find the dialogue is actually quite witty. Here we go, some banter. Back off, burnt rice. That feels a bit potentially
I didn't teach you
racist.
all those moves so you could watch me get my wrinkly ass kicked.
Some good old whooping.
Damn, that feels good.
Delivering on that.
Why do these guys want to kill you?
I'm not the man you think I am.
I knew it.
You did?
I seen you looking at me when I do them high kicks.
See, even here,
What?
right?
No, I'm just watching
Just
the technique.
between Yo-Yo, just a little bit, and Shaq, just a little bit of cheeky writing and sharp dialogue, which is kind of funny actually. I rather enjoy it. Nothing too crazy here about the buttons. I mean, punch X, jump of course, and fight. Quick, easy to show. Hey, here's zero, go forward. One of the things I thought here, again, tutorializing here, build up the combos with X and then A to the massive attack. One of the things I thought they did really well here was it doesn't feel too difficult to play. It doesn't feel like I need to be an expert in games like Street Fighter or anything like that. This really is pretty easy to pick up and play. Your combinations are relatively easy, and I think I like this actually. Here we're seeing these guys jump from the fourth wall, I guess, onto the stage or onto the scene. That's a fun little twist, I think. I shouldn't necessarily twist, but I think using the space effectively. Here, the things around us are destructible. We're building up some of our energy, and of course that energy will be used as well.
Kick that thing's ass, Shaq!
I don't hit women.
Well, I ain't no woman, so let's see what you got, Sasquatch.
Wailing
I'll show
Banshee
you,
is the
Bigfoot.
enemy's name here. Just a quick pause here, just to check things out. Now, what I will say, while it's paused there, is one of the critiques I would give the game is it is a one-player game, but I think when you think of something like the Nintendo Switch and having two Joy-Cons with you, two controllers with you at all times, this is one of those games that is kind of a perfect fit for two players. And of course you're like, well, how can there be two Shaqs? You can this Shaq is wearing a white shirt and the other Shaq is wearing a red shirt or something like that. And you can just kind of create a second player to come in and assist. And if they jump in and assist, of course you'd maybe ramp up the difficulty with extra characters coming on screen. Now I make that sound like it's wicked easy. I don't know, but that is one of my critiques of this, is that it definitely feels like they could have had that opportunity, and so I think that's a little bit unfortunate. But I mean, it is kind of what it is. So that's something I would have liked to see done differently for sure.
What?
Look out!
I would say the other thing, and this is kind of great, so they're kind of telegraphing where those bombs are going to go, which is good because you can jump out of the way. I like that. Yes, like I said, two players would be fantastic. I sometimes feel like some of these big action moves, like the big kicks there, I don't necessarily have the full control. I don't know what buttons exactly I needed to click to make that happen. They just kind of happened, which I don't necessarily know if I like that. I like knowing that, hey, it's up, down, or up and B that makes us do that big move. So I feel like that's something that I wish could have been a little bit better. But that's, again, maybe I'm being a little too picky, but I'm just kind of giving you my 2 cents. That's why you came here, is to ask our opinions about stuff, right? But I mean, it's fun, right? I'm having a fun time with this, and I came back to it several times as well.
Looks like
playing
you
it.
ate all the low-hanging fruit.
I do like they give us a little bit of information about kind of these, use A against the shielded enemies. So they give you those clues, they give you those hints. That's fantastic. They give you the on-screen prompts like we're seeing here, ZL and ZR. So again, those, if you're putting it down and then jumping back into it later, it's a good thing to be able to kind of recall what you need to be successful here as well. Big kick to the face. Big kick to the face. Launches them across the screen. I will say that the game definitely gets a little bit more intense at times. I mean, nothing that's unbearable, but definitely, the situations increase where there's more enemies on the screen. More challenges for you, more kind of having to manage who you're attacking, when you're attacking, and then using your specials when you have them to try and beat them is great. It does make it more difficult. We're obviously seeing here with the red around the screen that I've taken some severe damage here, almost out of life. So I need to resolve this sooner than not, which would be a very, very good idea as well.
Why do you keep running off when the bad guys show up?
We didn't raise enough money on Indiegogo.
Checkpoints, that is one thing. I would say here we're hitting a checkpoint name.
I see how avoid contact
They're
with
fairly
Lucas
frequent, actually, and I like that. I've got some icy cold, so it's re-energized my life, my energy, all of that. So that's a great thing. I would say the game design has a lot of opportunities for you to either hit a checkpoint, which is great to save, and then you can kind of jump out and do something else if you need to, or a fair bit of opportunities for you to replenish your life. Whenever I died, there was never anything that I felt like, it was unfair. It's just kind of like, I just happened to get beaten that time. But enough to make you want to go back and try it again as well. So I think that's one of the things I definitely like about it as well. Some of the other funny parts that I thought were great about this is that your quest through this game, I don't want to spoil it too much, is you end up bumping into like celebrity bosses that you have to kind of beat, and there's lots of like pickup weapons like street signs that you can use. Again, it's that brawler punch 'em kind of game where you can use things to your discretion or to your use. Reminds me a little bit of when I used to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, where you can pick up a street sign or whatever it was, or break these items to get your pizza powers. In some ways, it's that, but with Shaq, which is absolutely fine as well. Again, I love the campiness of this. Again, we have the cartoon, the art style, the over-the-topness of everything in this game. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's if you're into kind of side-scroll and beat-em-up games, this is probably right up your alley. And again, I'm not a huge fan of that genre, but this really had me having a lot of fun with it. And it made me want to come back to it and play some more. And the fact that, minus that really long load screen, when you're first jumping back into it, it's fairly easy to pick up and play. And like I said, the checkpoints are really quite accessible and frequent enough that you can very easily, play for 5-10 minutes, make some progress in it, and then it's over and done with it. You can save, and it automatically saves as well. So the other thing I really liked about the release of this game is that Saber Interactive last year also released a game called NBA Playgrounds, and people were actually eligible to receive a free copy of Shaq Fu, a Legend Reborn on the Switch, had they actually needed to redeem a code essentially between June 5th and July 5th by going to the eShop, and it was 100% of discount. And I know the NBA Playgrounds, there were some updates that didn't get out timely enough. This was a little bit of them saying like, hey, we're sorry, let's see what we can do to kind of win you back. So if you were an NBA Playgrounds owner and you bought that right off the hop, you kind of had the opportunity to get this for free, and that's always fun. Free is free, right? That's pretty fantastic. As I recall here, I'm coming into a boss fight, so we're going to shut up and listen to them talk.
You going down?
Frizzle! Guan Yu sent you, didn't he?
Please tell me I get to kick his ass.
It's on, Sasquatch!
Not used to fighting a dude.
All right, so we're jumping into this first boss fight here. Against Frizzle. Some telegraph moves here for sure. So I need to just get out of the way. Get out the way, y'all. I like these enemy cutscenes like they have there. Again, kind of over the top. Now you know what? Hold on now. Frizzle may be beating me up here pretty good. I may be going downtown with my size 22 shoes. The Shaq shoe. This is not going to end well for me, I don't think. Always that tough thing, right? You've got a very minimal amount of life. I think that was it for me. Am I still alive? I'm still alive. There we go. You've got a minimal amount of life. You're kind of knocking them down. There's this fine line between can you survive? This is the tipping point of life right now. Of whether this
He better have big hands.
Yeah, what up, Shaq? What up? Cross the face. Mighty fist the face.
Who the hell
Yeah.
is Guan Yu?
Yes.
Again, Lo Wang?
Boom.
Death?
Shakalaka,
Well,
shaka.
Guan Yu is his chief lieutenant.
I don't remember Avenger or Ghostbuster being this complicated.
Again, except for a little bit of inside baseball mentioning Ghostbusters and Avengers there. So kind of breaking the fourth wall, understanding pop culture references. Even earlier when Yo-Yo mentioned not being able to have as much dialogue because the Kickstarter didn't fund as much. Understanding just some of those kind of that's kind of funny. Like good for you. That's a pretty good little nod there. So it's part of the smart writing and content there as well. Guys, and there we go. An icy cold. Let's go get that. Boost up my life. Go get the icy cold. Put the icy cold on your body. There we go. Icy hot, not icy cold. Icy hot. I love Pete Justin. Again, so we beat our boss. There is an open checkpoint. We've got some new enemies. We've got a guy with a sword now. So that's awesome. So I bet you I can steal it. Of course I can. Boom! Shakalaka shaka. Cool. And some big thunder punches. We got some missiles dropping. This is mad. This is crazy. This is getting intense, guys. This is getting really intense. I've got to really be paying attention now. So that being said, guys, thank you so much for checking this out. Again, big thanks to Saber Interactive and Wired Productions for providing us a copy of Shaq Fu, a Legend Reborn, available on the Nintendo Switch eShop right now. Also available on physical copies that you can check out probably at your mom and pop game shops. It's also available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, but why would you play it there? Play on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, guys, I'm going to finish it off here. Check it out. It's in the eShop. I think it's worth your time if you like side-scrollers, all right? Thanks for supporting Nintendo Dads. Bye-bye!